So, I thought about doing this the way I normally do my character videos where I talk about the character. But then I realized there's a lot of Star Wars characters I know absolutely nothing about. So, we're getting this version instead, where I talk about how I would build the deck for the leader card. This guy, I don't. If I was to build a deck with Moff Gideon, I think all my cards, every single card in the deck would cost 3 or less. Because he wants units that cost 3 or less. Maybe not everything, but most would cost 3 or less. I might have a few surprise heavy hitters. But yeah, swarm the board with little things and win that way. Especially if you can get Sentry on the little things that cost 3 or less. That would be the way to do it, because that would, yeah. Yeah, even on this side, he cares about 3 or less, and also attacking units. But if you have overwhelm, it doesn't matter, because you'll go over and still hit the base. Him, on the other hand, you want 2 things with him. You want die triggers, when this character is defeated, triggers, and mana excel, because he cost 8? Yeah, and mana excel, because he cost 8. Emperor Palpatine is expensive. You want at least 6 mana excel, if not more, when you play Emperor Palpatine. Good thing Cunning, the green color, has mana excel. And on this side, well, when you want to be able to be defeating your units so that when you flip them, you can do what he says and take a damaged unit, because that's just the piece de resistance, the icing on the cake. Also, you're going to go through your deck quicker because you're drawing a lot more cards, so you're running to your answers for your opponents quicker. Hondo here, Hondo plays differently than the other two. He cares about smuggle, which is when you play a resource for its smuggle cost, put it into play, replace it with the top of your deck. He cares about that. And also upgrades, because experience tokens count as upgrades. So he also cares about upgrades. So upgrades at maybe cards that smuggle, maybe upgraded smuggles. I'm not sure how I would build Hondo, but something with smuggling and maybe upgrades. But definitely smuggle. Cares about keywords, like Underworld there. He wants you to have all your characters to have 2 things. So you couldn't have Maul. So you shouldn't have something like, I know it's for dark, not light, villainous, not heroic, but you want something like Maul. You don't want something like Maul that's Underworld. You want something that's 2 for this guy. At least 2. Probably the more the better, I would guess. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you want all your units to have 2. It's a deck building restriction, but an easy one. This is probably the easiest one to build so far, is Boba Fett here. With Leia here, just like Boba Fett, it would be an easy deck to build. You just want rebels, non-unique rebels. You don't want unique rebels. You want a few. You want mostly. You don't want specific rebels like Red 3. A lot of those in your deck. You want Rebel Insurgent and stuff like that, because the more. If you can have 3 Rebel Insurgents on play, you can use that attack with 2 of them. a lot of rebels that can be on the board at the same time, and that's how you want to play her. Simple, easy, straightforward. Boba Fett. Good. Easy. Also an easy deck building restriction. Just put things with grit in your deck. Because if you put things with grit in your deck, you deal them 2 damage, they get a shield, they get... I'll show you what grit does when I flip over. 5, so she comes out quickly too. But yeah, grit. So you want a lot of things with grit, including her. Mounted down. So if you were 7, that would only be 3 damage. Yeah. That's also a cool ability. She is an interesting character. Just based on this card, she's an interesting character. And blue, I don't know what the colors are, but blue has a lot of grit. A few other colors are good, but blue has a lot of grit. So yeah, you want to play her in a grit-heavy deck. Deck I run. This is my deck. And well, yeah. My deck doesn't really make sense. But if I was thinking about it and building a deck off this card alone, no other cards, I'll do a lot of heal cards. Like things that come in and heal, stuff like that. That's what I do with her. Because the point of her, how I would run her if I was building a deck for her is I would make it so that she could so that she has a lot of that you are very, very hard to kill. That's how I would build her. He cares about upgrades. Straight up, he cares about upgrades. Put a lot of upgrades in your deck. And not shield and experience upgrades, but actual upgrades. Not the upgrade tokens like shield and experience, but actual upgrades. Because this side gets you return into your hand. So yeah, upgrades. Again, grit. That's a grit of 1 for free. It's grit for free. The other person's a better grit. But this also, I think the other ones are rare, and this is a common. So yeah, I would run him the same way I would run the rare blue that we went over earlier. Lots of grit cards. That's how I'd run him. Because, yeah, that ability wants grit. And maybe Sentinels? Sentinels and grit? Yeah, Sentinels and grit. That's how I'd run him. I think. Yeah.